Once in a small village nestled at the edge of a sprawling city, there lived two people who couldn't have been more different. One was named Mara, a young woman from a humble family who worked tirelessly as a seamstress. Her home was small, the walls thin, and her clothes simple, but her hands were skilled, and her heart was kind. Every day, she woke before the sun and worked late into the evening to provide for her family. The other was called Elias, a man of wealth and status, whose family owned large estates on the outskirts of the city. He lived in a grand mansion with walls adorned in gold leaf and rooms filled with luxurious furniture. Despite his wealth, Elias often, found himself alone, prisoner of his own fortune. The people he met were either after his money or simply part of the circles he was born into. In his heart, he longed for something more, a deeper connection with the world beyond his wealth. Their worlds collided one fateful day when Elias, bored with the extravagance of his life, decided to wander into the village. He had heard rumors of the skilled seamstress who could weave magic into fabric and wanted to see for himself. As he approached Mara's modest shop, he noticed the delicate pieces she had created, gowns that shimmered in the sunlight, and coats that seemed to tell stories through their stitches. Elias entered, and Mara looked up from her work. Her hands were worn, but her eyes were sharp, her focus unbroken by his sudden appearance. "I've heard you make the finest garments," Elias said, his voice smooth and confident. "I want something special." Mara smiled, a soft, genuine smile. "I can make anything, as long as you can explain what you need." Elias was taken aback by her directness. She didn't seem impressed by his wealth, and that intrigued him. "I'm looking for something different. A piece that shows who I really am, not just my name or money." Mara's expression remained calm. "No joke. If you truly want to know yourself, you must step into a world where money cannot buy happiness, where comfort is found in simplicity." For reasons he couldn't explain, Elias agreed. Over the next few weeks, he spent his days with Mara. He helped her at the market, carried her bundles of fabric, and sat with her in the evenings as they shared stories over tea. At first, he found the work difficult and the poverty humbling, but slowly he began to see the beauty in the small moments of life that had once escaped his notice. The way Mara would smile when she found a perfect piece of cloth, or how the villas would greet each other with kindness despite their hardships. He realized that happiness didn't come from money or grand estates, but from connection and purpose. The day finally came when Mara presented Elias with the garment she had crafted. It was a simple coat, made from the finest fabric she could afford, but it was stitched with care and love. The sleeves were lined with intricate patterns, and the buttons were small, delicate pearls that caught the light in the most beautiful way. Elias tried it on, and as he looked at his reflection, something shifted inside him. For the first time, he didn't see a man defined by his wealth or his status. He saw a person just like everyone else. He realized he had changed, that the experience of living without his wealth had stripped away the just like everyone else. He realized Nenad changed, that the experience of living without his wealth had stripped away the illusions that had once held him captive. "Mara," he said softly, "you've given me more than just a coat. You've shown me a life I didn't know existed." Mara smiled, a quiet, knowing smile. Sometimes we need to lose ourselves to find who we truly are. Elias knew then that he could never return to his old life in the same way. He still had his wealth, but it no longer defined him. He began using his resources to help others in the village, funding schools, building homes, and supporting businesses like Mara's. And while he never forgot the lessons she taught him, He also knew that the greatest gift she gave him was the realization that true wealth came from within, not from the things we owned, but from the people we loved and the lives we touched. And so, the rich man and the poor woman, though from different worlds, found a bond that transcended money and status, discovering that the richest lives were the ones filled with purpose, kindness, and understanding.